I'm not jealous of the welcome party, but I'm grieving what it cost me to be faithful, the sleepless night, and all that I sacrificed to be a good girl. I am grieved on how easily faithlessness and sin is excused.
It hurts, Daddy. I did everything right. I stayed, worked, served, and now she gets the feast.
She's celebrated after wasting millions from the education fund, after collecting a huge loan with the company's name, all the abortions, the disgrace. And me, I've been working, studying, managing the factory in your absence, Daddy, upholding this family's name. Did I ever get even a perk? Or a chicken to celebrate with friends? My own is work, and hers is waste, enjoyment, and celebration.
You've been loyal, steady, strong. Your hands built what we lived on. But I'm worried your heart is drifting.
The escape beneath the smile. The soft glow of dawn filters through floral curtains. A well-dressed Christian family gathers in the living room, Bibles open for morning devotion. Daddy Ezekiel leads the devotion with power and sincerity. Beside him, Mrs. Ezekiel, Ruth, Jed, and Esther's perfect church daughter. Daddy Ezekiel, praying, Lord, as Esther returns to school, go with her. Keep her from temptation. Let her represent you on that campus and in every area of her life. Esther forces a small, soft-spoken amen. The world saw Esther as the perfect girl, modest, obedient, molded by the prayers of her father. But no one saw the flame under her skirt, not even her father, who unknowingly gave her the key to her rebellion. The family helps Esther with her bag. Mr. Ezekiel hands her an envelope with ATM card. Mr. Ezekiel, this is the education fund, the one I opened for you years ago. Your fees, your rent, upkeep for the 5 years in the university, everything's there. Just use it wisely. As we discussed, the same way your sister is using hers. Esther, thank you, Daddy. If only they knew. She wasn't going to school. She was going to chase a fantasy with a man she met on Instagram. At the motor park, Daddy Ezekiel helps her into a bus. She waves goodbye. Once the bus turns a corner, her smile fades. She quickly dials a number. Esther, on phone. Mike, I'm coming. Don't forget the gate code. Port Harcourt, Michael's flat. Esther steps out of a cab. Her look has changed, lashes, new hair, stylish jeans. She walks up to the gate. Michael, tall and sugar-tongued, opens with a grin. Mitchell, embracing her. Finally, my woman, my queen is here. He kisses her forehead and leads her inside. Esther was no longer the second-row church girl. She was the boss of her own world, and she was funding it. Michael learns about the money in her education fund. Stylishly, he convinces her to rent a duplex that befits their new life. New sofa, new TV, new curtains. Michael signs papers at a car dealership. They clink glasses at a hotel restaurant. Esther, I didn't steal. I used what was mine. Daddy saved it to educate me. But this was my education. Party night. Their house becomes a daily party zone, drinking and eating lavishly with friends. Purple LED lights glow. Michael, baby girl, you're living the life you deserve with your lover. School for what? Esther, laughing. Exactly. I've changed my phone and SIM card. They don't need to find me. I'm finally free. She thought she had arrived. She lived in luxury with a cook. She spent money like water. She thought she was loved and empowered. Little did she know the ground beneath her was about to vanish. 2 years later, a calendar flips slowly. 2 years have passed. Mrs. Ezekiel sets Esther's picture upright again. Daddy Ezekiel kneels at the prayer corner. They have searched for her. The last message she sent was, "Don't look for me. I'm living the kind of life I desire." But Daddy knew better. She didn't just run away from home. She ran from everything they built into her. So the parents kept praying. Michael, Esther's apartment, present day. Now the house looks like a showroom for wasted wealth. Empty wine bottles, designer pillows, dust gathering. Parties are still constant. Michael is in full control. Esther lounges on the sofa, scrolling TikTok. Red rent notices pile up. She had sent Michael with the money. He claimed he paid it, but he didn't. School was a forgotten idea. Her old life was blocked. Daddy's savings had funded 2 years of paradise. But no one tells her Evan Paradise has rent. Grocery market. Esther shops in sunglasses. She spends almost the whole day at the salon fixing her nails. Later, she picks up luxury items at the shop. At checkout, insufficient funds. She refreshes. Still, nothing. Michael is with her ATM card. She dials Michael. Michael on phone. Just come home. Use the ATM card. I'll take you back to pick up the items. Apartment. Front door. She rings. No response. Knocks. Nothing. She forces the door open. She couldn't believe her eyes. The house is empty. Even the pots and spoons are gone. She screams, a long, collapsing scream. She calls Michael. Switched off. Some men walk in to check the house. They see her on the floor. Agent. Madam, sure you've packed everything so we can move in? This house is now ours. She was still screaming. They told her the house had been re-rented. They asked her to move out so they could lock up. She leaves with only her school leathered bag containing a few clothes and shoes. Everything else, including the luxury Caris, gone. At the staircase, she calls the agent. Confirmed. Rent unpaid. House re-rented. She sits on the stairs and weeps. Bank balance 125. Michael's number switched off. She involves the police to track Michael Evan, if only to recover the car. But the officer says it's a futile journey. Police lady. The car and all the electronics were bought in Michael's name. No receipt, no claim. Even if we find him, there's no evidence the property belongs to you. She kept crying. A few weeks ago, Michael advised her to take out an additional education loan using the education fund account and her father's company. She signed the loan form unaware that Michael had taken all her documents and already withdrawn the loan into his own account, not knowing what else to do. Staircase corner. Night. Esther scrolls through her contacts. She calls 2 close friends who once depended on her. First friend. If you want to stay in the house, you'll pay 4,000 naira per night to cover daily rent and feeding. If you're ready, you can come. Second friend. I don't have space to accommodate you. She ends both calls. She calls Michael's friend. Michael's friend, coldly. Don't ever call this number again. She drops the phone in tears. Friend's house. Night. A different friend lets her in after hearing her story. Friend. You can stay 1 week. After that, you'll need to contribute to rent and food. Esther nods, smiling faintly. She gave some of her clothes and wigs to her friend in exchange for the accommodation and feeding. After 2 weeks, she has nothing to sell and other to contribute to the feeding. 7 days later, the door is locked. Her box is left outside. A note reads, I cannot accommodate you again until you meet the condition. Uncompleted building. Night. Esther walks hopelessly. She finds shelter in an uncompleted building near some stalls. She approaches an Akara stand to buy 50 worth of Akara. That's all she has. Mama Ranke. My daughter, you can't get that in Nigeria again. Esther turns away quietly. Mama Ranke calls her back, handing her bread and Akara. Mama Ranke. What are you doing in that building? Esther. I have nowhere to go. No house. No money. No one. Mama Ranke looks at her with soft eyes. Mama Ranke. I had a daughter like you. If she were alive, she'd be your age. Can you manage my stall? I sleep there with my child. It has a bench. It's better than outside. Bring your bag. Esther follows like a lost lamb. Mama's stall. Late night. A small metal-roofed stall. Pots. Wrappers. A rusted fan. Esther lies on the floor. Her bag is now her pillow. She scrolls through her phone. Tries Michael again, blocked. She has no boyfriend, no school, no friends, no future, and no one knows where she is. Not even herself. Her father gave her a future. She traded it for fireworks. Now all that's left is smoke. When the lights go out, Mama Ronki's stall. Early morning. For the first time in days, Esther sleeps peacefully. She joins Mama Ronki in morning prayers. For a moment, she feels at home. As she steps outside, she suddenly feels dizzy. Sickly. She stumbles, nearly collapsing. Mama Ronki. Are you okay? Where are you from? Are you a student? What of your parents? What's wrong with you? Esther, stammering. I don't know. I just feel headache. She lies softly. Esther, I came to visit my auntie, but I lost her address and number. I don't have money to return to school. My parents, they live in another city. Mama Ronki, visibly worried, digs into her bag and gives her 500. Mama Ronki, take this. Buy paracetamol. That's all I can offer, but please, try to locate your people today. It's risky, staying away from home. Pharmacy Street. Moments later, on her way to a nearby chemist, Esther notices a flyer pinned to a wall. Housekeeper needed. Evening shift, 4-6 p.m. 7,000 salary. She notes it silently and walks into the pharmacy. Pharmacy. She approaches the counter. A nurse attends to her. Esther, I want to buy paracetamol. Nurse, why? What symptoms are you feeling? Esther hesitates, then explains her dizziness and nausea. The nurse suggests a proper medical test. Instead, Esther quietly picks a pregnancy test strip that was on the counter, free to all. She paces nervously toward the restroom, takes the test, waits, peeks, 2 red lines. She gasps. Esther, softly, shaken. I thought it was ulcer, stress, anything else. But this? Again? She slides down the tiled wall, devastated. This isn't her first pregnancy. Michael always took her to a clinic to flush it. But this time, who will help her? With which money? Tears roll down. She wipes her eyes, stands up, and walks out. Job notice board, late afternoon. Esther returns to the job notice. She reads the description carefully. Sweep the compound, feed the dogs. 4-6 p.m. Esther to herself. I need a roof over my head. I cannot stay a day longer with Mama. Let me manage this job, even if it comes with barking dogs. Job interview. Same day. Madame Chioma, stylish and rushed, barely looks at her. Madame Chioma, I'm traveling to Canada for 2 years. Feed the dogs, sweep the compound, no access to my house. Come only in the evening. Esther, I don't have a house. Madame Chioma, then this job isn't for you. Esther pleading, please. I'll take it. I can manage anywhere, even if it's corridor. Madame Chioma, 7,000 per month. Talk to the security man and start immediately. Later that evening, Esther carries her leather bag from Mama Ronki's stall to her new job. The gate man tells her to wait. Later, he says, security guard. That store is full of Madame's old things. If you really want the job, clean the old poultry shed. I'll give you a mat and a pillow. But why should you come for this type of job? You are a small girl. You should be in school now. Anyway, it's your choice. Esther nods silently. She takes them, looks at the dogs in their cage, then turns toward the dirty, abandoned poultry house. Old poultry shed at night. Cobwebs. Dust. She sweeps and cleans the shed, lays the mat on the cold floor. Her body, weak, aching, hot. Her kingdom of lights and makeup had become a cage of rats and silence, but it was shelter. Passage of time. Esther sells her phone to buy a wrapper and cheap clothes. Her nausea increases. She barely eats good food. 7,000 isn't enough. She She feeds the dogs and sweeps the compound slowly, her belly growing. Watches Madam's dogs eat ground, chicken, meat, and bones. Begins secretly eating part of their food. Later sells her shoes, then her clothes, then her wig just to survive. Esther. 3 months later, morning. The security guard watches her closely as she sweeps sluggishly. Security guard. You are sick. You better go to hospital or chemist. Maybe get malaria drugs. But wait. This girl, you're pregnant. Where's your husband or boyfriend? What of your parents? It's risky keeping you here. You don't eat well. You even eat part of the dog's food. Pregnant. No care. No husband. No family. How long can you survive like this? I'm sure Madam doesn't know you were pregnant before hiring you. Please, don't put me into trouble. Esther pleading. I just want to stay here for a while. I'll soon travel to my auntie's place. Please, give me some time. The gateman hesitates. He sighs and leaves. Weeks later, early morning, Esther sweeps slowly. Her belly is heavy. Her back aches. She pauses, clutches her side. Tries again. Her breath shaky. Her vision blurry. She collapses. The broom falls beside her. The dogs bark wildly from their cages. The security guard rushes out in panic. Security guard. Oh my God, what will I do with this girl? He runs to her. Shouts for help. Mission hospital room, early morning. The security man and a friend carry Esther into a small mission hospital. Nurses rush to her aid and place her on a bed for observation. Suddenly, Esther begins to scream. Labor pains. Nurses rush in. Nurse Rose leads the team. For 2 days, she groans in pain, but the baby doesn't come. She'd had no antenatal care, no strength, no help. Finally, with the assistance of a kind nurse, she delivers. But she gives birth to silence. A stillborn child, lost to malnutrition, neglect, and prolonged labor. Nurse Rose sits beside her. Nurse Rose gently. Do you have a husband? A boyfriend? Your parents? Esther says nothing. Only tears. Deep, silent tears. Nurse Rose places a hand on her shoulder, then quietly exits the room. The hospital provides the necessary medical care, but she cannot be discharged until her bills are paid. The bill is high. Esther has nothing. They ask her to move from the hospital bed to a small room at the end of the corridor. Oddly, she's thankful. Esther sleeps on a thin mattress. She hugs her knees, eyes wide open, always lost in thoughts of what her life has become. Other patients sometimes help her with leftover food. Nurse Rose walks in holding a covered tray. Nurse Rose. Esther, get up and eat. Esther looks up, startled eyes red from crying. Esther, I don't have any money. Nurse Rose. I didn't ask for money. I asked you to get up and eat. I know you're hungry. Esther breaks. Her shoulders shake no sound, just weeping. Nurse Rose sits beside her. Nurse Rose, softly. I know pain when I see it. Don't worry. God is merciful and full of compassion. He still loves you. Esther opens up. She tells her story, all of it. Nurse Rose listens, fighting back her own tears. She holds Esther's hands, then begins to pray. A soft, broken prayer. A prayer of hope. Nurse Rose, God still loves you. He's not done with you. From that day, Nurse Rose becomes her friend. She brings food, speaks life into her, encourages her. She says, let's believe God for a miracle. He will raise help from somewhere. A week later, Nurse Rose speaks to a man and woman in their 40s. Graceful, confident, dressed in Ankara, holding a clipboard. They represent an NGO for teenage mothers and abandoned women. Nurse Rose, there's a girl I want you to meet. The woman listens, nods, then signs a document. 2 weeks later, Esther sits alone, head bowed. Nurse Rose enters with the NGO woman beside her. NGO woman. We heard your story. Someone out there still believes in you. Your hospital bill has been fully settled. Esther gasps, covers her mouth in disbelief. Her debt was paid. But where would she go? Hospital courtyard at sunset. Esther stands in the fading light, holding the $10,000 the NGO gave her for upkeep. She sits alone. Tears stream down her cheeks. Hospital corridor at night. Esther lies awake on her thin bed. The night is quiet. She stares up at the ceiling. A whisper escapes her lips. Esther, where will I go? A long pause. Then, softer. I will go home. I'll go back to my father. I'll beg him to forgive me. I'll work in his factory if he lets me. Because I'm no longer worthy to be called his daughter. I will go home. Next morning, outside hospital gate, Esther embraces Nurse Rose. Then she walks toward the hospital gate empty-handed, but with a flicker of quiet, painful hope in her eyes. The gate, the grace, and the elder sister. Family house gate, evening. Esther stands outside the gate. She has lost everything. Her head is covered in shame and misery. She stood at the gate, afraid later summoned up courage to knock. The gate man, mid-52nd unfamiliar with her face, approaches the small gate and opens it. Gate man, who are you looking for? Esther, softly. Please. My name is Esther Ezekiel. I used to live here. The gate man frowns. Gate man, this house? I don't know you. Wait. He presses a button on the intercom and speaks flatly. Gate man, on intercom. Sir, one lady is outside. She says her name is Esther. Pastor Ezekiel jumps to his feet. Pastor Ezekiel, she is my lost daughter. Mummy Ezekiel follows behind him. They rush out barefoot, no time for shoes. Moments later, the gate swings open. Daddy Ezekiel and Mummy Ezekiel freeze. There she is, pale, thin, broken. But home. Esther immediately falls to her knees, weeping. Esther, Daddy, Mummy, I'm sorry. I have betrayed the family, God, and myself. Please, find space in your heart to forgive me. Don't even regard me as your daughter anymore. I am not worthy to be called your daughter. Please, employ me as a worker in your factory. Pastor Ezekiel kneels and hugs her tightly. Mummy Ezekiel joins them. All three sob. Daddy Ezekiel, choked voice. My daughter was dead, and now she lives. In the living room, at evening, Mr. Ezekiel sends workers to prepare for a restoration party. He calls a boutique vendor to send beautiful clothing for Esther, a gown, beautiful shoes and suits that fits a queen. Esther sits quietly, sipping warm pap under blanket cover. Ruth, the elder sister, returns from Lagos, exhausted from a procurement trip with the factory manager. She notices the bustle in the compound. Daddy Ezekiel, your sister is home. God has answered our prayers. Ruth, so why all this commotion? Event planner, cow, cooks, decorations? Why? Daddy Ezekiel, yes, a Thanksgiving party. A testimony to God's faithfulness. Ruth, firmly. So we can't thank God quietly? Must we throw a feast? The shame she brought isn't enough? Now, a celebration? Daddy Ezekiel. Why, Ruth? Ruth laughs bitterly. She celebrated after wasting millions from the education fund? All the abortions? The disgrace? And me? I've been working, studying, managing the factory in your absence, Daddy. Upholding this family's name. Did I ever get even a perk? Or a chicken to celebrate with friends? My own is work, work. And hers is waste, enjoyment, and celebration. What are we telling the world? Reward the one who left and ignore the one who stayed? Daddy, please spare me. I need rest. She walks away. In Ruth's room. Moments later, Mummy Ezekiel enters gently. Ruth, I woke up at 5 a.m. daily. Ran the house like a second mother. handled the factory during NYSC. And now she gets the celebration? Mummy Ezekiel, your faithfulness is seen, Ruth. God sees it. We see it. Ruth, no, Mama. All I see is disgrace, wastage, and now a feast. And the girl who stayed, suffered, and labored? Invisible. I am invisible, she sobs. In the prayer room, at night, Daddy Ezekiel kneels quietly, prays, Lord, help me address these issues rightly. Help me show Ruth that we value her sacrifices, but also that we still love Esther. Give me the right words and the wisdom. Give Ruth an understanding heart. Ruth, alone. I'm not jealous of the welcome party, but I'm grieving what it cost me to be faithful, and how easily faithlessness is excused. Sometimes I wish I had left, just to be welcomed back. Family veranda, early evening. Daddy Ezekiel sits quietly, eyes heavy with years. Ruth steps out holding files. She pauses, then walks over. Sit with me, please. She hesitates, then sits. Do you know how proud I am of you? She says nothing. You've been loyal, steady, strong. Your hands built what we lived on. But I'm worried your heart is drifting. Ruth, it hurts, Daddy. I did everything right. I stayed, worked, served, and now she gets the feast? My daughter, you don't earn my love by what you do. I love you because you are mine. And I loved her, even when she forgot she was. Ruth, blinking back tears. He said gently, this family is not a reward system. The Father's love isn't performance-based. It's not tilted to favor the obedient or ignore the fallen. It's constant, unconditional, free. But why celebrate her return so loudly? Because that's what heaven does. Jesus said, heaven rejoices more over one sinner who returns than over 99 who never strayed. It doesn't mean the 99 aren't loved. It means the Father's heart aches until the one comes home. You've served well, Ruth, but there's a danger in serving without love. Bitterness can hide in the righteous. It makes us serve without joy and leaves no room for mercy. And when we close our hearts to our sister, we close them to the same grace that's holding us. This is not about fairness. It's about the Father's heart, always seeking for the lost to return. In Esther's room, at night, Esther beside her bed, weeping, not from shame now, but from healing. Ruth steps in silently. A pause, softly. I'm sorry. I judged you. I envied the celebration and forgot the pain you returned with. I should be the one begging. I brought shame. I broke everyone's heart. And still, you held this house together. They fall into each other's arms, sobbing. 2 daughters. One broken by sin. The other hardened by pride. But grace melted them both. Family altar room. Later that night, the family kneels together. Daddy Ezekiel leads prayer. Esther and Ruth hold hands, prays, while we were still sinners, Christ died for us. And while we were still bitter, grace waited quietly. At the door of our hearts, lessons and prayers. 1. Grace is not a reward. You don't earn God's love by staying faithful. 2. Serving without love leads to bitterness. Faithfulness without love can lead to pride. 3. Heaven rejoices over restoration, not reputation. God rejoices more over one sinner who returns than those who serve without joy. 4. The Father's love is based on grace, not performance. 5. Judgment is not discernment. True holiness celebrates restoration, not condemnation on the fallen. Prayers. Prayer for the faithful who feel forgotten. Lord, help me serve with joy, not pride. Remind me, your love isn't earned. Heal my heart and help me celebrate others' redemption. Prayer for a bitter heart in ministry. Father, free me from envy and hidden judgment. Give me a heart like yours, rejoicing in mercy, not comparing service. In Jesus' name, amen. Sure you have been blessed. Kindly drop your comment below. Like and share. Remain blessed.